But I am going live for just my look at you can see my horror shelf back here now that I'm not just a little square with Mike. I do have a new horror shelf and some new horror memorabilia up here and autographs. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about the Kalamazoo Comic Con today. I live like 10 minutes away from there, so it was a really cool experience to be able to go there and be at a con so close because I'm used to going to cons that are very far away. I think the closest con that I went to before this was about 2.5 hours ago. Hey, Amadeus. Um, about 2.5 hours away. I've went as far as Atlanta, Georgia, and if you don't know, that's I think 12 or 13 hours away from where I live. So you have to fly mostly. And hey, old restless, what's up? Mike did not want to do this live. He's a humbug. He's an old man. He said that no one would be here to watch, so I'm doing it by myself. To hell with him, right? So yeah, I am decided just to do this kind of quick thing here. Talk about the con. Talk about meeting. Um, um, yeah, to hell with Mike. That's what I say. He don't want to do anything. He only wants to do like I don't know what he wants to do, but um, yeah. So this is the closest con that I've ever been to. Like I said, it's very close to my house, and I love that. And this will be a yearly thing I go to. I'll talk about the con and how it was ran compared to other horror cons that I went to. Like I said, this was a Comic Con, so they had two horror guests. They had lots of voice actors for anime, for cartoons, for 90s favorites, actually. They had the guy there that voiced Spider-Man from Spider-Man the Animated Series, which was really cool. I almost got one of these right there, old school Spider-Man figures signed by him because I have the ones from back in the 90s, the figures. But I was like, nah, I ended up getting actually two signatures from Derek Mears. I'll go into that. So I did not do that. They also had like the voice actors from Pinky and the Brain there. They had like a bunch of voice actors and stuff. And I'll tell you, those anime voice actors, they had long lines, dude. They were getting a lot of money. They were signing a lot of stuff. Sadly, I will say the guys that I want autographs from, Derek Mears and Jeff Brockton, they did not have big lines. They had like a couple people in their lines, and actually a couple times I walked by, they had no one in their lines, and that made me a little sad because I'm like, I want more horror people to come to this con, and because they're gonna talk to their friends, they're gonna tell them, oh, this con was horrible or this con was good. Don't go to this con. I would think they would. I mean, we're all people. But so I'm hoping that they do, have other people come back next year, horror people. I guess this has ran 3 years here, and I never knew about it, and that sucks. But I will be on the lookout next year for sure. It was really well organized. All the helpers, like the people that walking around, had yellow capes on. That's how you knew they worked for the con and were, helping out. So if you had any questions, you could just walk up to them. They had tables. They actually had food venues at this con. They had two concession stands with hot dogs, pretzels, all that kinds of stuff. Every horror con that I've been to, I've never seen that. Usually, though, I will say two of them we went to, the hotel does have a restaurant, so that's probably why they don't have that. This was like in a big like arena type place, expo center. So that's why probably that's a little different there. Also, the con had all different kinds of vendors. We did a video on this, which was really good, in my opinion. It's done pretty well for us. If you want to go check out like the floor and stuff, but we ended up buying, Michelle bought some fudge from there, and it's really good. Expensive, but it was good. I did end up buying some stuff. I'll show you guys in a minute. They actually had, because at the Comic-Con, they had an area where you turn in your ID, and they had all different kinds of board games and stuff like this, and probably role-playing games and stuff that you can play, sit down at tables with people if you're with a group of people if you want to play. They also had an area with about 15 TVs hooked up to different systems, so you could sit down and play video games. Me and Michelle sat down and played NES We sat down and played Super Nintendo for a minute. It was a lot of fun. They had PS5s hooked up. They had a bunch of different stuff hooked up, which was really cool. I liked that a lot, actually. I thought it was, hey, what's up, Chris? Um, I thought it was great that they had that available at this con. Something else I've never seen. Not that that would be at a horror con, but I've never been to a Comic Con like a Comic Con like this. I've always just been to the horror cons, so it was really cool. So I will talk about the art. So we bought the tickets in advance. They scanned them. They gave you a wrist bracelet. It was really easy. Got in. They did check in our bags because I had a bag with my stuff that I wanted to get signed. Hi, Megs and C's, with stuff that I wanted to get signed. So they wanted to look in there, which I think is good. They had security at the door, about six, I think between 4 and 6 people at the door checking bags, security, stuff like that, which I think is good. Did I say hi to you, Carnival Cruise Addicts? I can't remember, but hi. So yeah, I thought that was really good and really enjoyed that. Your boy Joseph, hey, are you and Mike related? No, we are not related. He is just my friend from, North Carolina. So, yeah, that's it. He's not here today because he's a bum. That's what I call him. He's a bum, and he don't want to do anything like this. But I did, so I'm going live, and I don't give a care. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I bought real quick before I get to talking about Jarek Mears and Jeff Brockton. I did buy this. They had these 2 for $6, so I went ahead and got 2. Camp Crystal Lake, as you can see there. It's like just like a, I probably end up putting this on my car, to be honest. And then this one, I had to have it because I'm a huge X-Files fan. I want to believe. Joseph says, I don't know why, but you look like a younger version of him. A lot of people say, we've had people say, are you guys father and son? People have said that. And I'm not joking. So I'm not that much younger than Mike. I'm 41 and Mike is 54, I think. I think he's 54. So really, not that big of a difference there. But I want to believe, had to have that huge X-File mark. A lot of good memories of watching X-Files with my father in the 90s. He actually liked that kind of stuff back then. If you asked him to watch a show like X-Files now, he would say absolutely not, and he'd say it's stupid. But in the 90s, he liked it. And then this one other thing that I bought, which I really like, and it's a metal sign, and it says "Welcome to Woodsboro" on it. And it's got Ghostface here, and it's like I don't know if it's like a sticker or what, but you can feel it's embossed a little bit. But I will be hanging this. I think I'm gonna hang it right up here, up top, right there. I think that's where I'm gonna be hanging this. But that's awesome. I love this sign. This was $25. It is metal. So yeah, I love that. I thought that was awesome. They had another one, a Halloween one that I wanted, but I couldn't. I wonder, how do I see this chat without, because I can't really see it. So that's a steal. Yeah, I can't see the chat. I can't go back and look at the messages right now. I don't know how, but I'm trying to read them, but I was focused on this. So those are some things I got. So the first guy I met was, oh shoot, did I leave his, oh no, I put it over here. Let me go get it real quick. I thought I had all my stuff. I'll be right back. I already had it in my collection wall. So, yeah. So, first guy I met, his name is Jeff Brockton, and he is a stuntman in Hollywood. He's done a lot of he told me over 300 projects with stunt work. He played in Blade. He was Chris Christopherson's stunt double. He was just in a lot of different things, but one of his most one that people are revering for is he played Ghostface in Scream 3. He was the guy underneath the mask. He wasn't the actual guy that played the killer, who was Scott Foley, but he was the guy under the mask. So I had him signed a Ghostface Funko Pop, and as you see, the blue there looks really good. and he signs it. Jeff Brockton, Ghostface 3, which I really like. And I did ask him, can you sign it up here? So then if I want to ever add any autographs here, here, I can at some point. So yeah, that looks really good on there, that blue. I like that. And also, I have these Ghostface Funkos. I bought several of them, and so did Mike. I have another one right here, ready to go for a con. Was there only one guy who played Ghostface in 3? Now, I don't know that, if that's true. But this guy, I don't know that over rest list, actually. But he's the guy that's known for it, to be honest. Now, I know in Scream 1, Lee Waddell is like the one that's known for it, though he wasn't Ghostface in a lot of the movie. He's the Ghostface in the opening kill with Drew Barrymore. So that's and he's the most famous for number 1, even though he wasn't in the costume the whole movie. But yeah, I thought this looks really good. It's going on my shelf, no doubt. So yeah, Jeff Brockton, great guy. Crispus is talking about stuntman Douglas Tate will be in Owensboro. Sorry, it went away. I couldn't read it all, man. I didn't see it in time. Well, if you get to meet stuntmen, if they play these roles or whatever in movies, meet them, man. They're nice guys, man. I've met a lot of good stuntmen that are nice. Hit the thumbs up. Thanks, Meg. How much horror stuff was there? Not a lot, Amadeus. There's only 2 guys from horror. And like I said, Jeff Brockton, and then this guy who was the bigger star, in my opinion, just because I don't know. I mean, I maybe not, actually. I don't know. I mean, he did tell me that him and Jeff were come up in stunt work, so he's done stunt work before, but I think his name is a little bit more well known, and that is Derek Mears. And I had him sign right here in the middle, Derek Mears, Jason 09. And this is a mask that's supposed to look like the one from the 09. Douglas Tate will be in Owensboro, Kentucky for photo on September 6th. Okay. This mask is done. 13X Studios. They do this mask, and it's supposed to look like the one from the 09 movie. So this is my first attempt at a cast piece. So when the cast is at other cons that I go to, I will be taking this and having them sign different areas of the mask when so this is going to be my first cast piece right here. 13X Studio made this mask was $34, but yeah, this is my first cast piece, and I'm going to put this in a shadow box, and hopefully this wall here, there's all the Spider-Man stuff. I'm actually moving this stuff to a different wall that's not on camera, and I'm going to put more horror stuff on this wall too. So yeah. Yep, that's that. So that is an awesome piece. It's my first cast piece. I don't have any of those. Mike actually has a cast piece of Friday the 13th where he's just getting as many Friday the 13th cast members on that one sign as he can, which is a really cool idea. And this is only going to be for 09, though. That's it. Because that's one of my favorite Friday the 13th movies, to be honest. Derek Mears. So I went there and had him autograph that and got some pictures. I posted them. Me and Michelle had a really good time talking to him. Derek Mears is very friendly. Jeff, Brockton is also very friendly, very nice. Shook my hand, looked me right in the eyes. I've had some guests that don't even want to look at you, believe me, at cons, even though they're there to try to make the fan experience good for you. I don't get that when people do that at cons. But these guys both really enjoyed, you could tell they really enjoyed meeting their fans. Derek Mears does a great job with his Jason. We talked about that. I told him that he does a great job. And he told me that, people weren't crazy about some of the things in the movie, but they've come around on it over time and stuff like that. And I do agree. So yeah, he was great. So I got that autograph, and then me and Michelle left. And I'm like, and I had my bracelet, so I could go back. And I'm like, man, like I have I ordered 2 Jason Funko Pops. And I'm like, I really want him to sign one. So I went home, got the Funko Pop, and then went back and got his autograph on this. And this turned out very good, in my opinion. I signed that one in blue too. I'm meeting CJ Graham, Friday 13th Part 6, Jason in a couple weeks. That's awesome, Old Restless. CJ Graham is one I need to meet still, for sure. He's high on my list. But I had him sign Derek Mears, Jason Online. That's just what he does. And up here, I said, hey, can you write kill, kill, kill up there? You know, like in the thing, kill, 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 you know, kill, kill, kill. And he said, yeah, man, no problem. And it wasn't an extra charge. He actually commented on that and said that he don't understand why all these people at cons have all these extra charges for things when people want extra stuff signed. You know, he said as long as it's not ridiculous, he'll do it. And he said that's not ridiculous. Just asking to write kill, kill, kill. In the blue, yeah, kill, kill. I'm getting demonetized, Gilberts, because I said kill, kill, kill. Derek Mears does seem like a good dude. I've seen him at cons, all smiles. Yes. Now I will say, why did you not film when you met with Derek Mears? Okay, I'm gonna get to that because I was actually just gonna get to that. But this looks really good, guys. And the thing is about this pop is he is zombie Jason, as you can see there. So I didn't really necessarily like that, but I'm like, it's really the only one there is. There's not multiple Jason. I mean, there is I think a couple one, but they're like expensive. And then there's like the 8-bit one and stuff. But like Michael Myers has several different variations of Funkos, and that's what I've done to get them signed. But Jason doesn't. So I'll talk to you about Derek Mears. So we were in line behind somebody that had probably 5 or 6 items getting signed by Derek Mears. I don't know if he was a consigner or that was just his personal collection or what, but he did have at least, I think, between 6 and 9 items. And do you know the color of marker you want them to use? Some don't really know. No, okay, I'm going to get to that real quick. But no, I went up to both of them and I said, Jeff, when I had Jeff, you know, I said, what do you think on here? I said, I have a bunch of people that, you know, I have red on here. I like to switch it up. Red, you know, Michael Myers, I have a bunch of orange. I'm tired of that. I want different colors on different ones. So I went with the blue. I have red. I have white on Ghostface. I want something different. Just like I ordered a Laurie Metcalf from, you know, that played Billy's mother in Scream 2. I went with a pink marker on the one she's going to sign, Ghostface Funko, which I'll be getting hopefully in the next month or so. But I went with a pink marker, a pink paint pen, just to do something different. So that's where I'm at. I'm tired of just having red or white or orange. Like I'm going to switch it up. So, yeah, so that's on the marker. I did ask Jeff. I said, Jeff, what do you think looks good? And he goes, yeah, people like blue. I said, okay, I'm going with blue then, something different. Same with him. I said, what do you think? I said red or whatever. And he's like, yeah. He's like, but the skin is blue. So the blue kind of like, you know, you see the blue through the eyes a little bit. So I said, yeah, that sounds good. So I went with that. And then on this one, he said Black Sharpie looks the best on this type of material here. So I normally don't like Black Sharpie. Believe me, Tom Savini signed a magazine in Black Sharpie, and I didn't like it. I don't like the way it looks that much. But Tom Savini, you hand him something, the dude just puts Black Sharpie on it if you don't speak up fast enough. So I went with this. So I'll continue that trend, and I will just have everybody sign in Black Sharpie on that mask, probably, most likely. Black looks good there, to be fair. Yeah, I think it looks fine. So the people in front of me, I was getting to this story here. I like the black on the mask. Yeah, it does. I think it looks good too, Ronnie. So getting back to the story, I heard the people asking him, do you mind if we video or take pictures of you signing our stuff? And he said, this is Derek Mears now. Derek Mears said, no, I do not like video. I don't mind if you take pictures, though. You can take pictures. And when he said, okay, or the people up there said, okay. And he said, the reason being is because he's been involved in some incidents where it's gotcha moments where they ask you to film and you say, okay. And then they try to ask you something that is off-putting or ask you about something controversial about your movie that you're in, or, oh, this movie bombed. Are you still happy with it? Stuff like that he doesn't really want to be a part of because it could hurt his if people up in things can see that, it might hurt a potential for him getting a role or something like this. And some of these people don't act anymore, so they don't give a shit. But like he does. Um, those gotcha videos. Yeah, that's what he told the people. So when we got up there, I totally understood. I'm not gonna be one of these jerks. I was like, oh, don't let us film. I got a YouTube channel. So I didn't. I just said, hey, do you mind if we take a picture of you while you sign it? He said, no problem, man. So we took the picture. That's why we don't have any footage. Now, Jeff Brockton, he didn't care. I said, do you mind? We always ask. We used to not ask at all and just film, and that's wrong, honestly. It was wrong of us. But now the last, I think, 2 cons or 3, I don't know, I think 2, we have been asking, do you mind if we film you? We always say is, do you mind if we film you autographing the item? That's what we said. We don't say, here's a million questions or interview or anything like this. Though I don't think they would mind being asked, like Jeff Brockton, he probably wouldn't have mind being autographed or asked about questions because literally they didn't have anybody in line and we could have. But yeah, that was that. So that's why I did not record Derek Mears. It was totally fine in my opinion. I didn't get butthurt or anything like that. I totally understood that he didn't want that happening. Even if you say, oh, I'm not going to do a gotcha. I mean, you could. Hey, man, that's my signed Tom Adkins, and that looks good back there. You can even see that white autograph coming through, man. That looks great. I know I don't have it in protector or nothing. It's just hanging on the wall. But yeah, I just, man, it was a great time. Yes, it was light on horror for sure. Oh, also, I went up to this guy's booth and he saw my hat and he said, hey, do you like VHS? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I have some horror VHS here. I'm like, okay. So I looked through them. This guy had like crazy prices on these VHS tapes. I mean, he had Chucky 1, 2, and 3 on VHS and Bride of Chucky. And I was like, oh, man. He wanted on the first 3 Chuckies $30 a piece for these Chucky VHSs, guys. I was like, no way. He said he got the whole collection from one single collector that was just getting rid of his VHSs. So, I mean, he had some other good stuff in there too. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, stuff like that. But the guy just wanted way too much. I mean, if it's something I really want, I might pay between $5 and $8 for one VHS. And I think I did that with Scream 2 on VHS. I paid $5 for it. But no, I'm not paying $15, $20, $30 for a VHS. My collection don't matter to me that much. I'll wait for garage sales and different things like that to pick those up at a lot cheaper. VHS run around $2 to $3 unless it's super rare. Well, these horror ones are the horror genre on VHS, Ronnie, is the most collectible genre, I think, right now. It just is. People in the horror genre. Well, and there's a lot of people that just collect VHS. I kind of have a small collection of other stuff on VHS as well. I did end up finding Scream 3 at a flea market for $1. That was awesome. And I like Scream 3. And I found this at a garage sale for $1 as well. The Amityville Horror, and it's 1 and 2 in a double pack. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I think Halloween H2O I paid $5 for. Halloween 2 on VHS I paid $5 for. So, I mean, I do collect some VHS. We have a VHS player up north at our cabin. So that's what we have. So I do take some of these VHS up north and me and Michelle will watch them or whatever. But back to the con here. I kind of got off topic. The con was very well ran, like I said. Very well organized. They had lines made up. They had all this kinds of stuff. And yeah, they had some guy there from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think his name's Barry Bostwick, a cabin up north, ballin'. Yeah, I have a family cabin. No, it's not mine, old restless. But it will be passed down to me at some point. And It's my grandparents right now. Then it'll be passed down to my dad, and then it'll go to me. Can you show your autograph like Mike did? What do you mean? What do you mean show my autograph like Mike did? I just showed you guys them. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me know, Amadeus. I mean, we showed it the best of our ability in the video. Um, so yeah, that's how we did it. I think the one you couldn't see that great, and I think it was this one, Jeff Brockton. I think I was kind of far away with it, but I mean that's as close as I can get there. Old Restless with Jeff Brockton, Ghostface 3. I'd like that he wrote Ghostface 3 because I think Lee Waddell, he just writes Ghostface. I think he just writes Ghostface because he's number one. Okay, see you, Carnival Cruise Addicts. Thank you for stopping in. This wasn't going to be a long live. I just kind of wanted to do it. He played Brad Majors in Rocky Horror. Yeah, he was there. He was there Friday. I'm not a big Rocky Horror Picture Show guy. Not that I hate the movie. I just never got into it, and I know there's a huge fandom for it. I think Lee writes Ghostface OG or OG Ghostface. I'm trying to look what he writes. I can't tell right now. Amadeus, I missed totally what you said because I was looking over here. So I have no idea what you wrote there, Amadeus. I was looking over there. But I might do shorts of these autographs and post them on our Real Dead channel. I'll probably end up doing that at some point. So I'll get a closer up. Rocky Horror is a super niche fan base. Yeah. I mean, I know what that Let's Do the Time Warp, whatever, is popular. Yeah, I think I've seen part of the movie, not all of it, to be honest. But, yeah. What else? Yeah, just a really well-ran con, and I definitely would go back, and I will. And I think the tickets were $22 a piece for Friday. Rocky Horror was a bigger deal when I was in high school. It was exclusively midnight showings. It was a lot of fun just hanging out at the theater. Okay. Yeah, that does sound fun. That does sound fun, Ronnie, for sure. I remember, I think I used to be a big fan. Me and my sister used to watch a Drew Carey show back in the day, and I think they did some big dance number to the Let's Do the Time Warp thing. She said, that's what I'm going to miss when I leave Atlanta, the cons. Yeah, there's a lot of cons there. We don't have, like I said, we have some cons, but they're more like Comic Cons. They're not horror. You have to drive a couple hours to make it to a horror con around here. So, yeah, that's that. But yeah, Kalamazoo Comic Con, I'm going to go back. I thought it was really well ran, like I said before, and I'm really happy. I went to a Rocky Horror showing. It was pretty interesting. Okay. I'll just run through these autographs one more time. Derek Mears on The Mask there. Jason 9. There's a big con every year, like a must-do con. Is there a... Well, I mean, it depends, what are you wanting? Because I know the San Diego Comic-Con is, a big one for a lot of people. That's a huge one. I think the New York Comic-Con is a huge one for people. I agree with Amadeus. I'd like to see a collection video at some point. Oh, of all my autographs. Oh, okay. Well, I don't have a nice setup like Mike does. My room is a lot smaller. Mike has a whole basement. I do not. I have one room in the basement, as you see. And I have a bunch of stuff in here. I think I can show you, actually. Let me just show you. I mean, it's kind of messy a little bit, but I think I can flip the camera. Here, hang on. Yeah. Okay, so that's my, vintage TV and, CRT. And I have all my systems there, as you can see. There's my VCR, or DVD combo, just on a box chilling. I got to do something with these cords, but there's kind of my VHS collection. There's a lot of my action figures from the 90s that I grew up with that I love. Oh, and I still have my Blockbuster card. It's right there. But a lot of stuff that I love there. I don't know. Can I zoom in? Oh, yeah, I can. There's my TMNT. I'm a huge TMNT guy because, I was born in 83, so it was big then. And those are the NECA figures from the movie that I collect there. I have a small collection of R.L. Stine Fear Street books. You need to watch a cable management vlog. No, I don't give a crap about that stuff, Ronnie. I just let my wires go everywhere. And then there's my NES collection. My NES collection used to be all these shelves. I had over 700 games at one point. Still have in the box NES games there as collection. There's my Funko autograph collection, as you can see. I'll do a better one than this. But that's my NES collection, like over 100 games. Like I said, I used to have 700 NES games. But there's like my Alien and Predator collection there, as you can see that. There's my Ghostbusters from the animated series collection, all original figures, no remakes or anything like that. And then there's all the NECA stuff I have to unbox still. Look at all that just sitting there. But yeah, so there's that. Oh, and then then there's my NECA shelf right here. Ninja Turtle stuff, all original, no repros. Look, then there's there's more Ninja Turtle, and then down there's like just random action figures. And there's a better look at this stuff over here. My Coffin Creeps, that stuff. There's that. So yeah, and then there's more. There's a Spider-Man, Swamp Thing, Power Rangers, all original stuff. No repos, no redones. Everything's original that I have. So yeah, all the vintage stuff. So there you go. I gave you like a semi tour. I've been up in the air. I know this is a horror one, but I've been up the air about selling this. It's over $100. It's worth over $100. But then I'm like, well, I kind of want to just unbox it and put it on my shelf. I only paid $25 for this years and years ago, but it's worth a bunch of money now. So I'm like, should I sell it? I don't know. I'm kind of like one of those collectors. But yeah, Con was great. Kalamazoo. I've kind of went off the rails here. Showed you some stuff. And yeah, so I will do a better in-depth. I'll have Michelle come down here with the DJI, and we'll do a better tour of this room, of my room, I think. Or we'll do like autographs, and then we'll do this and that and this and that. I'd like to see a Cabin in the Woods reunion panel at a con. Movie was awesome. Yes, I love Cabin in the Woods. I love Cabin in the Woods. And yeah, I think it does. I just saw they had a reunion of the original cast of the Breakfast Club, the original, like the kids. All of them are finally together for the first time ever at a con. And that was really cool to see. Have you seen a lot of big horror stars in just a lot? You have. Yes, I have. Yes. I really have. I mean, there's a couple autographs that I have that I actually ordered that I didn't actually get to meet the people. And I hope I get to. Like, the big one being John Carpenter. I hope I get to meet him. I do have his autograph. I did not. I just sent away for it. The other one is Nick Castle. Mike and Anthony actually got to meet him. I actually ordered mine. Yeah, I watched the Breakfast Club panel. It was good. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that. Check that out. Nick Castle. What else? Oh, Linda Blair I sent away for. I didn't get to meet her. Is there anyone in the horror world you want to see? Oh, yeah, dude, tons. I mean, I just mentioned John Carpenter, Nick Castle, Linda Blair. I want to meet them. I'd love to meet the cast. I'm a big Blair Witch mark. I love that movie. And I didn't realize how divisive the Blair Witch Project is in the horror community. I didn't realize that. And I thought the people that hated it and hated on it were just like a new generation of kids that didn't get the hype and everything that went into it. Turns out there's a large contingent of people that were around when I saw it, and they hate it too. So I didn't know that, but I've learned that by being on horror communities and stuff like that on Facebook. But I'd love to meet the cast of Blair Witch. Bruce Campbell, for me, yes, I'd love to meet Bruce Campbell. I heard that if you want to meet Bruce Campbell, you basically have to buy the VIP pass because it's a huge line. I think a friend of mine just went and met him, and I think he had to wait several hours in line, if I'm not mistaken, to meet Bruce. And it was like, a 15-second photograph because he's already got his autograph, so he didn't need it. The not knowing throughout that movie was the horror. Yeah, I still enjoy it, but I'd like to meet that cast. I'd love to meet Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. That's not going to happen. She doesn't do cons at all, usually. She does them, and if she does them, it's very rarely. I actually had the opportunity to buy a Jamie Lee Curtis autograph. It wasn't the JSA or anything, but what it was, we were at this garage sale up by our cabin, and somebody had like a cutout of her, like a legit cutout, and it was like for Motorola phones for like back in like the late 90s or early 2000s. I don't even know when. But they said they got it. They were somewhere, and she was there with the phone, introduction of this phone. She was like the spokesperson of this phone back in then when, when it was like a brick phone. It was like this. The phone was like this. Cell phone. And they signed in red on the cutout Jamie Lee Curtis, and they said, yes, she really did sign this. This is really her. We were there. We got the cutout. Blah, 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 from the place that she was. And they only wanted $5 for it because they just wanted it gone. It's been in their attic. Jamie Curtis would be complete money Halloween. Yes. And her line would be insane. I did not get it because it was 6 foot tall. Like I couldn't fit it in my car. Like, no, it wasn't happening. But I really wanted to buy it for a gamble for $5. But the thing was huge. So I didn't do it. And I didn't want to fold it or anything. It wasn't. It was like a standout that was in their attic. And I'm up in BFE up north with the freaking hillbillies. So like, it's just crazy how this was about, like how they had it. But yeah, I would love Jamie Lee Curtis. I met Danielle Harris. She's really awesome. Met a lot of actors. Now, some people don't consider the actors that were in the costume that you didn't really get to see their face as the actor. I do. I mean, Nick Castle, I met Tyler Mane, Chris Duran, good people that played Ghostface, and all that. So, to me, it counts. I mean, Jeff Brockton, that counts. Jason Voorhees, Derek Mears, these people played these roles. In Scream, you actually have an actor that shows his face at some point, but yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna get off here though. Thank you for joining me. Just to talk horror. Mike, he's a bump on a log. He says he's busy, and every time he talks to me, he's in a chair. So I don't know. But he is a bump on a log, so call him out in the comments here, guys. Say, do more stuff with Josh here. Just not single videos. And, yeah. Okay, guys. We do have a Scream. They get demasked, so it's a little different. Yes, I understand that, but I still want the person that played it. We do have a live show coming up this Friday. And it's going to be me, me, Gregory, and Mike. Oh, man, we have a little guest star. Come here. Look at this. We have a guest star. She wanted up on Dad's lap. This is Lily. But, so, we have a live this Friday. We are ranking all 6 opening scenes of Scream. I would say kill, but I guess YouTube buries your stuff if you say the word kill. So this live is going to be buried. But yeah. Yeah, we don't have 3 kids. We got this kid and that's it. Liddy. That is it. That's all we got is Liddy. And she's naughty enough. Just kidding. Bye, guys.